the camera. Give it off, down.
When we're talking about policemen in science fiction, there's no real lack of characters to discuss. Odo from DS9 is a great example, as is Max Rockatansky from Mad Max, or Rick Deckard from Blade Runner. The person who most screams cop, though, is the man who has it right there in his name. That's right, I'm talking about a dude who's part man, part machine, all cop. This week's induction into Screen's Hall of Besties is none other than Paul Verhoeven's satiric masterpiece, Robocop. Now, satire is a weird genre, and one that perhaps needs to be a bit extreme in order to have any kind of longevity. Some films that might have shocked when they were first released might seem tame to those of us watching today, but Verhoeven has always been capable of pushing his films right to the sheer edge of believability in the name of satire, and Robocop is no exception.
Yamaha, you picked the heart. Extended warranties, financing.
If anything, the fact that the extremes it went to are now actually believable is a bit disappointing.
Remember, we care.
But then the mark of a great, or at least prescient satire may be that it becomes more relevant in the decades after its release.
Clear violation of my client's civil rights. Make it aggravated assault and I can make bail in cash now.
And make no mistake, Robocop is unequivocally great. Set in a future Detroit but filmed in 1987, it takes square aim at the politics of the time. A massive corporation, OCP, has taken control of Detroit's police department, hospitals, and fire department, changing civil services into private ones, ostensibly to better serve the public in the midst of a crime wave that sees people like Clarence Boddicker kill 30 police officers and still walk around a free man.
You burned the fucking money! I had to blow the door. What do you want?
OCP is the elite, a playground for executives that scrap amongst themselves while obsequiously trying to curry the favor of the old man. Unknown to the cops, though, one executive, Dick Jones, has been both protecting the drug trade in Old Detroit while using the chaos it causes as an excuse to develop military-grade weaponry. That is thinking ahead.
Use your gun in a threatening manner.
Of course, problems arise for him when Robocop is created after the death of cop Alex Murphy, whose brain and body are Frankensteined into a cyborg shell.
He's got a hell of a grip.
Allowing him to resist bullets and apprehend hardened criminals that normal cops can't touch. That goes swimmingly until his creators turn on him and Dick Jones supplies Boddicker with just the kinds of weapons that Boddicker might need to finish off Robocop. Or so he thinks. Robocop works on a lot of levels. As a drama, you feel for Murphy and want him to exact justice on the men who killed him. The absolutely brutal death scene that Murphy suffers through is still difficult to watch today and helps sell the drama that Murphy has to go through. And there's absolutely no one who doesn't like to see damn dirty criminals get their comeuppance, especially when they're getting ripped apart by the coolest gun ever invented. And Peter Weller manages to wring a surprising amount of pathos from his situation, especially after his mask has been removed. That's surface level stuff, but it's an eminently entertaining surface level.
It's really good to see you again, Murphy.
But below that, Robocop also pokes fun at the media, as newscasters manage to squeeze in 10 seconds to mention a pending race-fueled beginning to World War III, before allowing commercials hawking products that glamorize nuclear war to go on for 60 solid seconds.
Cross my line of death!
You haven't dismantled your MX stockpile.
Pakistan is threatening my border!
And there are shades of idiocracy in the way that every single person in Detroit is fascinated by a sub-Neanderthal show about a horrible old man who throws cake on women's breasts and only ever says the same 6 words over and over again.
I'd buy that for $1.
It's a media world where the response to everything is fake. Newscasters never stop smiling, even when showing dead bodies. The family in the nuke commercial takes glee in the thrill of virtually annihilating everyone. And even the worst possible car in the world ascends to the status of must-have commodity.
Because bigger is better. 6000 SUX, an American.
And that's without
tradition.
even getting into the corporate structure of OCP, which comments on the rush to privatization that was spearheaded by Reagan and Thatcher in the 80s. It's worth contrasting the structure of OCP to the police. There are no friendships in OCP, as all the relationships are between bosses and employees. Executives are kept separate from the unwashed masses in private lounges, and even the deaths of lower-level employees are written off as mere glitches.
Sure, it's only a glitch.
Crime-ridden old Detroit is nothing more than an opportunity to the vast array of vice presidents, a proving ground for their dueling robots before they're adapted for military service. They are, of course, completely oblivious to the toll crime takes on the community that they play with like a deck of cards. OCP might be a parody of hypercapitalism, but like with the best satire, it's really not that hard to imagine a company acting like this in a world where another Enron or Lehman Brothers seems to pop up every couple of years.
Fucking mind.
Give it another couple of decades and I wouldn't be surprised if you have to type in your credit card number when you're trying to call an ambulance. Robocop is like a child rolling over a log to look at all the bugs underneath. It's a bleak, pessimistic look at the future of urban America wrapped around a portrait of corporate politics and capitalism run amok that is both amused and disgusted by what it finds. It's a bit too early to call it prescient at this point. Law & Order hasn't disintegrated quite as much as Verhoeven might have predicted, although we'll see where Detroit is at in another 20 years.
Stay out of trouble.
Regardless, it's an easy choice as one of the finest action films of the 1980s, if not one of the finest films, period, and it's also an easy choice to induct it into Screen's Hall of Besties.
Thank you for your cooperation. Good night.